tallest one, right over here. This is Annika. This is your violin. And Cindy, making her way through here. This looks like a big violin. It's called a viola. And Lily, standing here. This is the next biggest one, the cello, and the largest one, the string bass. So you can see they all have the same shape. They're all made of wood. They have 4 strings and 4 picks for tuning and so forth. They just come in different sizes, and therefore the violin is going to be the highest, and the bass will be the lowest in sound. So we play the violin in 2 different ways. With the bows, I'm going to show your bows. And the viola, a little bit lower in sound. And the cello plays sitting down. Nice, and the string bass. That's a very, very low note. They go from really high to really low. We need all those instruments for the orchestra. And then the strings can also do something else called pizzicato, or plucking. So we'll play a few notes like on the pluck. Excellent. So when you're listening to the music, you'll notice that sometimes the strings are plucking. You'll hear that sound most of the time they're bowing. So thank you very much. And we'll bring in the woodwind family next. We have 5 woodwind instruments to show you today that are part of our orchestra. Again, we're going to have the smaller instruments, the piccolo, which looks like a tiny flute, and then the flute. Okay? They make their sound by blowing across a hole. So if you're blowing across the top of a bottle, it's the same type of sound. So we'll ask the flute player to play on the mouthpiece first. So that's the beginning sound. So if you're good on the bottle, you're probably good on a flute. All right, and the piccolo's higher. Nice. Now they'll put the mouthpieces back on, the head joint we call it, and they have keys where they can move their fingers up and down like on the piano, but on a flute instead. So you can see the difference between the tonalities between the piccolo and the flute. Next we have the clarinet. Now this is a reed instrument. They play with a cane reed. To show you the back of the instrument, you can see there's a reed attached to his mouthpiece, and he's going to play on that. So he kind of squawks. Because that you learn how to make that sound, and then you put the mouthpiece on the clarinet, and you get this. Very nice. Now we come to the double reeds. So the oboe is a tiny reed. It doesn't have a mouthpiece. She just plays on the reed on both sides. She'll show you that sound. Very nice. And then let's do the bassoon, the lower and larger. Good. Now they're going to put the mouthpieces on, and we'll hear from the oboe. Good. All these woodwinds play together, and the bassoon also plays seated, so we'll hear something from her in a second. So that's our woodwind family from high to low. You can listen for them in all the pieces we'll be playing. Thank you very much, and now we'll bring out the brass players. Okay, we have 3 brass instruments today. You can see they're very brass looking. They all make their sounds with mouthpieces, and they look like this. You can show them your mouthpieces. This is kind of a funnel shape, and those are more cup-shaped, and they're different sizes. So we'll start with a French horn, and he'll buzz his mouthpiece for you and play some tones. So if you can do that, you can play a brass instrument. Okay, the trumpet. Very nice. And the trombone. Much lower, right? Okay, now we're going to hear some notes on the horn. Nice. Trumpet. Good. And the trombone. Right, you'll sound, and also show us the funny slide sound that you hear sometimes. Very fun. So you notice in the brass instruments, they have keys that they press down, combinations to make the notes. Same with the trumpet, and the trombone has to hear where he places the slide to get the notes. Thank you very much. And at the back, we have our percussion section, and they have some instruments that are really too large to move out here quickly. So we're going to talk about the tuned instruments first. Those would be instruments like the bells, and the timpani. Excellent. And then you're going to hear the xylophone as well. Good. Those are instruments that read notes just like the other instruments. Now the other instruments, and we hit them all until we need the sounds. And the other instruments just read rhythms. Okay, so what are we going to hear? The snare drum. Wood block. Excellent. Triangle, hold it way up so they can see it, way up. Good. And then you'll be hearing these instruments a lot, plus some other things like cymbals and other what we call things you make noise with that we sometimes put to music. So now we're going to play a little folk song for you, a French folk song called Frère Jacques. It's in your program. You're welcome to sing along if you want. And we will be playing it as a round. Everyone is going to play the same melody, but the strings will start. And then you'll hear the woodwinds enter, then you'll hear the brass enter, then the percussion. And you're welcome to sing along with it. I know many of you probably know this song. So, Frère Jacques.
Mm-hmm.